Once in a forest at the edge of a great city, there lived a jackal named Chandarava. He was an ordinary jackal, not particularly clever, not particularly brave, not particularly anything. One evening, hungry and desperate, he crept into the city looking for food. The city dogs found him and chased him through street after street until he fell in his panic into a large vat of dye outside a cloth merchant's shop. He scrambled out, gasping, and ran back into the forest. The other animals stopped and stared, because Chandarava was no longer the color of a jackal. He was blue, a deep, vivid, impossible blue, the color of the sky at the edge of evening. The animals had never seen anything like him. The lions drew back. The elephants regarded him with wide eyes. The deer stood very still. And Chandarava understood in that moment that something extraordinary had happened to him. He drew himself up, as tall as a jackal can stand, and spoke in the deepest voice he could manage. "Do not be afraid," he said. "I have been sent by Brahma himself, the creator of all things, to rule over this forest as your king. I am not like any creature you have ever seen, because I am not like any creature that has ever lived. I am Kakudruma, king of kings, sent from the heavens to watch over you all." The animals looked at each other. He was blue. He was clearly not a jackal. No jackal had ever spoken with such authority. They believed him. And so Chandarava, the ordinary jackal who fell into a vat of dye, became king of the forest. He ruled wisely enough. He settled disputes. He organized the animals into order. He kept the lions and tigers at a careful distance because he knew that if they came too close, they would smell what he was. And he banished all jackals from the forest, every single one, because he knew that a jackal would know a jackal, no matter what color it was wearing. For a time it worked. He was blue, he was king, he had everything. And then one night, from somewhere deep in the darkness, he heard it. The sound of jackals, howling at the moon. That sound, that ancient, instinctive, bone-deep sound moved through him before he could stop it. Before he even knew what was happening, his head went back and he howled. Not like a king, not like a divine being sent from the heavens, like a jackal. Exactly like a jackal. The animals heard it. The lions looked at each other. The elephants raised their heads. And they understood, all at once, what they were looking at. The blue did not wash off that night, but it didn't matter anymore. I find myself returning to Chandarava, not with judgment, but with recognition. Because most of us know what it feels like to wear a color that isn't ours, to perform a version of ourselves that we think others need to see, to speak in a deeper voice than we actually have, to banish from our presence anyone who might see through us, to keep the lions at a careful distance. It works for a while, but the jackals always howl eventually, and something in us always answers. Chandarava didn't fall because he was wicked. He fell because he was a jackal, which is not a small thing to be. A jackal who knows what he is is worth more than a blue king who has forgotten. I'll leave you with one question to carry into your day. Where in your life are you performing a color that isn't yours? And what would it feel like to simply be the jackal? This has been The Long Thread. Ancient stories for the present moment. Tomorrow, another thread.